We are just over 2 months away from a brand new Mario and Luigi game. I still can't believe I'm actually saying that, and it's true. And I couldn't be more excited. The fact that my favorite Mario spin-off, which was presumed to be dead for 5 years, is making a comeback is still extremely surreal to me. And Brothership looks just as good as all the other games. However, I'm curious as to where the series will go from here. I am a Nintendo fan after all, so nothing is ever good enough. Ever good enough. So if, and hopefully when, Brothership sells well, here's what I'd like to see in Mario and Luigi 7. This is more of a wish list than a prediction video. Basically, if I was given the ability to make the next Mario and Luigi game, what I would do. And if you saw the thumbnail, you probably know what it is. It's honestly insane to me that neither of them have appeared in a Mario and Luigi game outside of a poster and a scrapped cameo in Superstar Saga. You're telling me they willingly cut this from the game? And do either of those examples really count as appearances?
No.
So what would a Mario and Luigi game with Wario and Waluigi be like? If I made it anyway. So first of all, let's determine what their roles in the game would be. A lot of people, from what I've seen, would like them to be playable characters controlled with the X and Y button. However, I personally think it would be a lot more interesting if they were the main villains, just because they've never really had a major villain role except for Wario in Mario Land 2. That game has a character called Big Bird in it. And it doesn't even look like the guy from Sesame Street. And I can't believe I forgot the time Waluigi was the main antagonist of Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix on the GameCube. Until you beat him in the first world, and then Bowser's the main antagonist. I can't wait for Brothership to do the same thing. Mario and Luigi games love having Bowser as the final boss, even if the new antagonists from that game are way more interesting. So yeah, I'd prefer if they were the antagonists, personally. I also feel like controlling 4 characters separately would be way too complicated. Like I mentioned earlier in Partners in Time, you do have the babies as 2 other characters, but you don't really control them separately. They more so separate, and then they're their own 2 characters. Plus, with Brothership seemingly making the hammers use the X and Y buttons, instead of using the R button to switch to the hammers, going back to the old way would just be weird in my opinion. So I hope that explains why I would rather have them be the antagonists than playable characters, although I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to them being playable. Next up, what would their motives be? It'd probably be to get a treasure of some sort, although I don't know if that'd be evil enough to make them main antagonist worthy. I guess they could do something similar to Mario Tennis Aces, where there's that evil tennis racket thing that turns them evil. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing I'm not the one making this game. The location of the game would probably just be the Mushroom Kingdom, although I would hope it'd be more interesting like it is in Partners in Time or Bowser's Inside Story, as opposed to how it is in Paper Jam. Paper Jam basically just took new Super Mario Bros. Locations. The names of the individual areas could be based on Mario, Luigi, and Wario and Waluigi being opposites of each other, like how a lot of Dream Team's locations were named after types of sleep or sleep-related things, and Superstar Saga's areas were named after types of laughter, and then Bowser's Inside Story for some reason has 2 areas named after tooth decay. Let's not bring that back. Now for the bosses. I guess they could do like evil versions of Mario characters with a few regular Mario enemies sprinkled in. Kind of like how Partners in Time randomly has a PD Piranha boss fight for some reason. Like it barely fits at all and makes no sense, but okay. If you're Partners in Time, you can do whatever you want, I guess. Like they could do Wah Toad or Wah Yoshi. Or they could even bring back the unused Wah Peach concept from Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube. As long as there is a Wiggler fight, I'm fine. There's a Wiggler or Wiggler similar thing fight in every game. It needs to come back. That is genuinely one of my biggest hopes for Mario and Luigi Brothership. If there's not a Wiggler fight, I'll still buy the game, but I'll be extremely disappointed. Genuinely. As long as the game doesn't just use generic Mario enemies for all of the bosses, I'll be fine. They were really scraping the bottom of the barrel with paper jam. A horde of charging chucks is a boss. Whose idea was that? Who made that game? What were they thinking?